What's up? My name is Julian Williams, and I take Expedite. Some days I walk into the gym, not necessarily feel like working. Take a scoop or two of this, be ready to go. It's the best stuff I've ever had. Expedite.
Hey everybody, Marcos Villegas here in Los Angeles, being joined with the trainer of Errol Spence Jr., Derrick James, and you're going to gear your champion up for a fight with another champion in Shawn Porter, September 28th. Overall, when you look at Shawn, like, break him down as a fighter. Like, what do you see there, and what can you see presents a challenge to Errol?
Well, I don't know necessarily. What I see is that he has a lot of tenacity. He has a lot of dog in him. He has a lot of fight in him. Like, he's very ferocious in his attack. And so we prepare for that. You know what I mean? And, he may do a little wrestling, a little headbutt, a little elbow every now and then. But, we prepare for that. So it's like, I don't know how much of a problem it'll cause. We'll just have to see when we get in the ring.
Are you worried that might show up in the fight, the headbutts and the wrestling and all that? Do you think it can get a little bit dirty?
I think that when you're left with nothing else but you have the desire to win, that you will do anything to win. So I think that could possibly be a probability. I saw it when he fought against Andre Berto. I mean, and that was a pretty close, but he was winning the fight. I think he just did that just for the hell of it. The elbow, the headbutt in him, very vulgar. That's to what he was doing to him. But we'll see. I mean, I would hope not, but you never know. We prepare for that, and we'll see when it happens.
How does one prepare for that? Like, how do you prepare Errol, like, for things that will happen like that? You fought, how would you handle it?
Well, you just make sure that your head is out of the way, and you work on it now to where it's conscious, to where by fight time you're doing it unconsciously without even thinking about it. And you just add a little head here, head there. You watch the headbutts, you watch the elbows, and kind of like when it's fight time, your body reacts so naturally because you've been working on it so many times and so much. But we just if that happens, then he'll be doing something back. So it's not like it's gonna be a one-way street, So.
The other thing I just realized, you have a southpaw against an orthodox fighter, and even then that leads to a lot of headbutts.
Yeah, I mean, so we just we have some strategy working on to kind of like offset that or to react to what he does, because you really when you have a guy so vicious, he comes in with a lot of tenacity, a lot of he really comes in committed to what he's doing. So our whole deal is to kind of change that level of commitment. Even when you look at Pacquiao was a very aggressive fighter, but when he fought Floyd, he wasn't so aggressive all the time. But every time he came in, Floyd, pow, hit him with a good shot, send him back. So we'll see. We'll see.
You think it'll be a similar fight like that, where Errol is maintaining his distance and he's making Shawn second guess every time he comes in, because he's going to have a warning that there's something going to be coming for him each time he tries to come in?
I think that once he started getting hit with the power, there's no way. I've seen him get hit by Keith Thurman and Danny Garcia, and they kind of wobbled him a little bit. There's no way. First of all, they throw wide, looping punches. Errol is very precise, puts his body behind it, was working on more power, more rotation. So I can't actually see him being able to take those punches. I mean, so I think that may be one of the things that is a deterrent from him to run in and jump in. He takes punches. I mean, and he shows that he's so, I want to get you so bad that I don't really care, but he may put a second thought to something this time, I believe.
The style that Shawn presents, is it a good style for Errol, or is it a style where it can complicate things? Because Shawn's had a lot of close fights because he throws a lot of punches, and it gets judges second guessing who they want to give the round to because he's active in there. He's throwing so many punches.
I mean, I think that, I don't know if it gives him problems, but it will be a rough, rugged fight. I mean, I think that, and when I say problems, I mean the way he's getting wobbled or hit. I mean, Because the guy can be throwing punches, and he misses a lot of punches, too. If you watch when he fought Keith Thurman, like, they were standing, I never seen before, they were standing so close to each other, and both of them kept missing each other. I'm like, how is that? Or when he fought Danny Garcia, like, those guys are not accurate. I mean, I don't see how they were missing so many punches, but I think that he poses a problem because he has the willingness to win. And it's hard to beat a guy who really wants to win and do anything to win. And I believe that's what he'll do. But, I mean, he has a good jab, and he has a great jab and good motivation and good, he has some things that he does that he's good at, and there's some things that, he does that he's not so great at. But we'll see. Everything is about we'll see.
How hard is it for you as a coach for fighters to kind of control their eating habits?
Hey, they're grown men and they kind of know what they should or shouldn't be doing. I mean, but when he's off, he's off. I mean, I think that, and I don't care about what he eats as long as he's working out. So, I mean, he can still be in pretty decent shape. I mean, but he has to just be smart and intelligent about it because the weight you gain, you do have to eventually get it off. So regardless of whatever the case is, you have to lose the weight. So they just have to know that and be cognizant of that because, either you're going to work out constantly and not take the break or you're going to eat like you're crazy and gain a lot of weight, so. But he handles it pretty well because, I mean, he's in pretty good shape. Like I said, we have been sparring 12 rounds. Yesterday did 13, and it's hot, man. I mean, so, yeah, he's good.
I'd be the worst fighter then because all I do is eat. I sneak in late night snacks, cookies and peanuts.
Yeah, well, peanuts is not bad, right? Nuts are not necessarily bad, but all the other stuff, the cookies, you can't.
Chips, Takis, and tacos at like 2 in the morning.
No.
Cycled in with beer and a lot of liquor when I go out on the weekends.
Man, not gonna work, Mark, because you will be.
Yeah, that's how I am 24/7, man.
You will be my boo boy.
I'll be your boo boy. Can I be your boo boy?
The fighter you have to be, man. You sit over here and help me out, whatever.
I'll be like the Mexican boo boy.
Yeah. Come on, yeah. That wouldn't work for the fighter. That wouldn't work at all. Yeah.
I can give him his towel, like his water, give him tacos.
Yeah, nah. We have like a small team, man. Everybody kind of like, no valet. So,
I forgot to ask Errol this, and I can't believe I forgot to ask him this. But the chain, I didn't see the chain anywhere. Did you see the chain?
I've seen it.
Yeah? It's a real thing, man. It exists. It's for reals.
I mean, you saw a picture of it. Like,
I saw a picture, but I haven't seen a video of it.
He has his own thing, man. It's like, it's amazing. I mean, I'm not a jewelry guy, but I mean, I was like, damn, that's kind of like,
I want one now.
No. No, man. I'm not trying to get robbed, man. You can have that. You can keep that. I don't need that type of pressure on me. I just care about, just living a nice, clean, comfortable life. I don't care about all the flash. They can have that.
Now, what'd you make of how Manny looked against Thurman? Because I know if either or Spence or Porter wins this fight, they're going to want to go into a fight with Manny to get 3 of the 4 belts. So what'd you make of how he looked and how he matches up with Errol at this point?
I think he looked great. I think that, first of all, going into the fight, I thought he was going to knock him out. I thought Pacquiao was going to knock him out. So because I saw the way when he fought Josecito and Keith did, and Josecito hurt him in like the 7th round. Keith looked phenomenal up until the 7th round. When he got hit with a shot, he never recovered. Like, he was just like, there's no way the Pacquiao's not going to hit him one time and hurt him. I mean, so it was like, and he kind of put it on him. He hurt him early. And for like the first 3 or 4 rounds, he put it on him. I mean, then Keith, those middle rounds, Keith came in the middle round, like 3 or 4 of those rounds. And then those last couple rounds, Pacquiao kind of, I think, kicked it back into gear. But I think he looked good, man. I think that hopefully that was enough motivation to get him to want to fight the winner of this fight, which I don't like to speak in. Maybe I speak in definitely like my guy's going to win. So hopefully he'll fight Errol. I don't, go into a maybe situation.
What happens if he does fight Errol?
I think it'll be a good fight, man. It'll be a great fight. I think that, I think nothing changes. I mean, when you have a mantra, it doesn't change. Just like Keith Thurman hadn't knocked anybody out in 25 years, but he's still one time. So, I mean, so Errol is man down. So, that's what I'm just going to go with the whole mantra, man down.
Why hasn't Keith been able to knock anybody out? Is it because everybody's elite now that he's fighting, or is it other reasons you think?
I think that when you fight guys who are not so great, you start to believe certain things about yourself. But when you fight guys who are on your level or above your level, those punches that you knock those other guys out with, they don't get these other guys out with. So, that's what it is. I mean, and even when you look at what Errol, he fought the same guys that those guys fought, and they went the distance with him, and he knocked those guys out. So now he's up to now fighting these guys. So we'll see how it goes with, how they fare.
Did you hear the things that Tim said about he feels that Errol's avoiding Terence?
Tim who?
Tim Bradley?
Nobody worry about that, man. Come on, man.
He said that not only was Errol, but everybody on the PBC side is avoiding a fight with Terence, doesn't want to fight Terence.
What is the point of that? Like, are you for real? Like, think about this. Terence Crawford wants to fight. I understand that. But at the same time, if he wanted to fight so bad, he re-signed a contract with a guy that he did not have to re-sign. Only for $3 million. Now these guys are making way more money than that.
Well, enough to buy a big old chain.
Yeah. And now he's still stuck with the whole $3 million deal. So, I mean, he signed a bad deal. I mean, and not to mention, you got a guy who's the promoter's not even promoting him. They talk about he gave this other guy, this British guy, $100 million. He talks about the Russian fighter, wherever he's from.
Lomachenko.
Yeah. He talks about that guy all the time. America buys American fighters. That's what American people want to see. They don't want to see. Remember when the Klitschko's all the time and they had HBO? Yeah, but American people don't want to watch those Russian guys beat up American fighters, so they let them go. I mean, come on, man, like they want to see American fighters fight and win, but I'm not, Tim Bradley, I wish Tim Bradley was still fighting at the same. Errol and he was still fighting at the same time.
That would have been a tremendous fight.
All that slapping stuff he doing, man, you gotta be crazy, man. See all that.
He was a 2-division world champion. Like Tim was good.
He fought the right people. Yeah, that's what he fought the right people. That's what I gotta say. He fought the right people because who did he fight? One of the Petersons. Lamont. He fought Lamont.
So yeah.
Fought Lamont.
He fought Devin, Marquez. He beat Marquez. That was a huge win for him. I didn't think he would beat Marquez, and he beat Marquez.
Provodnikov almost.
Yeah. Manny 3 times.
Provodnikov beat him. Right? And then wait. But then at the same time, Chris Algieri beat him.
Provodnikov, yeah?
Yeah. Come on, man. So, I mean,
Chris Algieri, he had the fighter's cookbook.
Great boxer. He's a boxer, yeah. I mean, yeah. He fought.
He came out of the cage. That's why he was able to beat Provodnikov. That's what I think.
What cage?
The cage that they put Chris Algieri in. He comes out every time he fights.
He fought. I mean, he was amazing, man. I mean, he got look at that eye was messed up in the first round.
That eye was so bad. Oh my God.
He won 11 of those. 11 the next 11 rounds though. Yeah, he did. How do you do that, man?
He has a lot of heart, man.
Well, he got dropped twice in the first or something.
Yeah, he did 2 times, and then he came back. Came back and ended up taking the title from him.
It's amazing, yeah. So yeah, but I mean, Tim Bradley, man, get back on him. I'm not worried about that. I think that Terence Crawford is a phenomenal fighter, and he's a good guy. I think that. I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, I don't know what he's gonna do, but the fight will happen eventually, and I think it will happen eventually. And I think it'll be good for boxing, but he's still not. Terence Crawford is like Shawn Porter. He's a champion, but he's not like what? Like nobody knows him other than, I mean, come on. So it's like he's not selling a lot of tickets. Shawn Porter, like Errol said, Shawn Porter can't sell out his own family reunion, which is true. Terence Crawford only fights in that small market because that's where he fights. They're not promoting him. If you want him to be a big-time star worthy of even fighting Errol, because what's the point? I mean, where's the money going to be like? one guy can't pack in the seats. So this is a boxing fight for boxing fans. But when you put a fight like that together, it's a fight for everybody, right? But there's no way he can't pull his own weight in that aspect because one guy is a bigger star, selling out 48,000 seats, and that's sold. That's not about the suites that the people own the box. There's over 50-some thousand people at the fight. This guy sells 8,000 seats, maybe 7, 8 in his hometown. He fought in Vegas. He had 8,000 when he fought. I forget who.
Postol.
Yeah, I mean, come on, man. What are we even talking about? It's not even the money that he mad up. Cause look, that's not. And then you put it like this. Somebody asked me a question. Errol had 400,000 buys of pay-per-view buys, right? He had Terence Crawford at 130,000.
Or the Amir Khan fight, right?
Amir Khan was the biggest star in that fight than Terence Crawford was. So that's how they sold 130,000. That's why would ESPN say, okay, we can sell 150,000. It's not enough. They want millions of buys, right? So he got to get his numbers up. If he can get his numbers up, that makes sense, for the networks to join, because 550 or 530,000, it's not enough. See, the PBC is doing their side to promote and build the fighters up. They got to do the same over there.
Certainly, it's a fight that a lot of fans want to see, and boxing fans.
But this, like I said, he's a guy who's watching boxing fans. But look, we're fighting on Fox, so you're doing the crossover. Conservative television, Fox Network, conservative. So you bring the people into the households, not of the normal boxing fan, but this is normal, average, everyday American. Everybody don't watch ESPN. Everybody don't have cable. So they don't even get to see the stuff they're putting on there for those guys. So it's not. So it's like.
So you guys want him to raise? He needs to be a bigger name on the casual sports fan.
I don't want him to do anything. That's what he should want for himself, because that's how he can demand more money. Because every time he does a pay-per-view and he puts those numbers out, they can. Man,
so 50-50 split is out of the question then.
Well, I'm not into that part of it.
But just your opinion, if you were in that position.
I'm not going to answer because I'm not in that part. But what I'm saying is, if he wants to make more money and to be a bigger star, he has to be able to transcend what he's doing, right? And so they have to promote. Promoters promote, not events, but they have to promote the fighters that they have. He's been with them longer than those other two guys, but they're promoting and talking about the other guys more. They're giving those other guys more. So my thing is, what about the kid who just fought in Dallas for Maurice Hooker? He made $4 million. Yeah. Terence Crawford, man, he's making $3 million. He's locked into $3 million there. Well, think about that. That guy, he fought a unification bout, made $4 million. Terence Crawford was an undisputed champ and made $1 million or so. Then when he fought the WBO, fought another champ, he made $3 million. You see how it doesn't add up? I'm just looking and watching, which I don't watch follow a lot of media, but I'm not lying. I'm telling the truth. So he should want his profile to stand up, because every time he fights and he does not sell, they can always deduct what they want and tell him, well, we don't. The way you show them what your worth is by what you can sell and how they can market and promote you. That's how you show what your wealth is. That's why Mayweather can say, look at my numbers. Pacquiao can say, look at my numbers. They said, what's your numbers, Terence? Okay, go back. You're a regular TV fighter. You're not a pay-per-view fighter. That's what they would say to him. Because they spend more money in 130,000. Think about it, they spend more money promoting and marketing a fight than he made on the thing. I'm just saying, right? I'm just asking.